Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Video. So I did a video like this for Sora vs. Shun back in Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, and I want to do videos like this for some of my favorite duels in Yu-Gi-Oh! And so today we are going to look at what made the duel between Aporia versus Jack, Rua, and Ruka so special. I hope you guys enjoy. The duel begins with stakes that are immensely high. Not only does the trio here have the pressure of stopping the gears on the Neo Arc Cradle, which is on a crash course with New Domino City, but Aporia also handcuffs the legs of Jack, Rua, and Ruka, and places a metal device on them that will stop their heart the moment their life points reach 0. Aporia really wanted to make a point of throwing his humanity away, as he feels that is what cost him the duel previously against Team 5Ds. He implements these stakes, so it's a true life or death duel. And for me at least, anytime the stakes are really high in Yu-Gi-Oh!, I think that makes for some of the best duels in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because you know that there are going to be consequences based on who wins and who loses, and when you have 3 different characters that have the potential of losing their life points, you just have this bad feeling in the pit of your stomach that one of them may actually lose. Aporia immediately becomes a machine as he transforms with his field spell, similarly to how he transformed with his D-Wheel against Team 5Ds, and he sets a bunch of traps that end up dishing out minor effect damage, which is ultimately to inflict pain on his opponents, Jack, Rua, and Ruka, even if it is a minor sort of pain, because the heart device that they are wearing will cause physical pain anytime they lose life points. The duel order is as follows. Aporia goes first, followed by Rua, then Ruka, then Jack. And the drama instantly starts with Rua falling victim to one of Aporia's burn traps. But something that makes this duel so wonderful is the character progression of Rua. Rua sets 3 cards in hopes to assist Ruka and Jack on their turns. When Ruka summons her monster, Rua activates his trap damage eraser in an attempt to save his sister from the real-life pain of Aporia's burn damage. However, this completely backfires as Aporia counters with his trap damage boost, which deals even more damage to his sister. Rua obviously blames himself for this, and his descent into despair slowly begins. A similar thing happens here, but it's arguably worse during Jack's turn. Jack summons Red Dragon Archfiend, which has 3,000 attack, more than enough to beat over Aporia's Weisel, which has 1,800 attack. Rua activates his trap Power Up Adapter, giving Red Dragon Archfiend 1,400 more attack points. However, this triggers the condition for Aporia to activate his trap Power Gravity, which shifts the attack increase to Weisel, while lowering Red Dragon Archfiend's attack all the way down to 0. Jack then has to end his turn, and Rua feels terrible for the 2 mistakes he made on both Jack and his sister's turn. The viewer cannot help but feel bad for Rua, and maybe even mildly annoyed. This is the most important duel any of these 3 have been in up until this point, and both of the turns after Rua were messed up because of his actions, even though his heart was obviously in the right place. With Jack and Ruka knocked out temporarily from the pain of the damage, Aporia makes a speech about what true despair feels like, and that's what Rua is currently experiencing, as he has tears in his eyes with his 2 teammates on the floor. The duel did a marvelous job at conveying this feeling of almost hopelessness throughout the entire duel, almost as if our heroes were not actually going to pick up the win without some major casualties. As the duel rages on, Rua is left with the only team member with an adequate amount of life points. Jack and Ruka have 100 life points each and will lose that 100 on their next turn. Rua is quite literally the only and last hope for the trio at this point. The emotional battle he has within himself is tough to watch, as we the viewer are even doubting if he will be able to pull it off. I mean, up until this point, Rua had not done too much and was one of the weaker duelists of the main crew. Watching this duel duel play out, you knew he would have to reach a level that we have not seen before from him, and he knew that as well. Him doubting himself, especially after the first turn misplays, was so good to watch because it was so realistic of where he was as a character and as a duelist up until that point. On Aporia's third turn, he goes after Jack's clock resonator, but Rua makes a good play and redirects the attack to him, lowering Rua's life points all the way down to 1,100. So going into the final turn, we knew if Rua wasn't able to pull off something special, this might literally be the end of the road for our team. Ruka and Jack were down to 100 life points. Everything was riding on this next turn, and what a turn it would be. Everything Rua did was to protect his sister. Not only in this duel, but throughout the entire show. He was shown over and over to be a fantastic brother. Well, Rua activates Double Ripple, which allows him to summon Power Tool Dragon and Ancient Fairy Dragon to his and Ruka's field respectively. However, this comes at the ultimate price. Aporia's burn traps are about to do more than enough burn damage to reduce Rua's life points to 0 and kill him. The music gets incredibly sad as everyone starts to realize what is about to happen. Rua's hope continues to persevere even in the face of death as he tells Aporia off. This is genuinely one of the most sad moments in all of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise. A young kid who did everything to give his sister a chance, even still not being broken or scared of the impending death that he's about to face. And the fact that that very same sister is forced to watch it happen is just grueling. Rua takes an insane amount of damage, and after the blasts, is just horrifyingly shown lifeless as he drops dead to the floor. Ruka's screams are just as horrifying as she begins to lose life points as well, even though she didn't take damage. This is because the heart device is linked with your very life, so if you fall into despair, your life points can also drop. I can't even do justice how crazy this whole sequence is. Between the music, the emotions, the fact that we just saw Rua literally die, and then Jack's voice actor with some incredible voice acting as he's shouting at Rua to get up as if he's in denial that he's actually dead. The whole sequence is just amazing in the most heartbreaking way possible, and somehow it only gets better from here. Rua's Morphtronic Lantron starts blinking as we realize its effect is essentially a coin flip for when your life points hit 0. If it rolls green, you get 100 life points back. And by the grace of God, it rolls green and Rua is revived. But not just revived, reborn into a signer. That's right, the one status that has always left Rua out when compared to his sister and friends has finally rewarded him as being worthy enough for the mark thanks to his actions. As Rua awakens, he synchro summons his new signer dragon, much to the amazement of Jack and the bewilderment of Aporia. Lifestream Dragon is born. A perfect counter to Aporia's effect damage strategy, as Lifestream Dragon negates all effect damage and can also raise every duelist who has less than 2,000 life points back to 2,000 life points. Ruka, saved, is not surprised at all that her brother became a signer, as she always believed it would happen because of his selflessness towards her. This is truly a beautiful full circle character moment for Rua and an incredible moment shared between the twins. Ruka then goes on to destroy Fortissimo, Aporia's field spell. The final two turns have this incredible atmosphere to it of the entire field spell and therefore the arena just falling apart and being destroyed, symbolizing that Aporia is losing his grip on the duel and to his own ideals as well. Aporia entered this duel stating that he threw his heart away and he is unable to feel despair. However, this isn't the case, and Jack Atlas knows it. Jack's final turn sees an enraged Aporia throw up one final line of defense, right as Jack calls what is seemingly the final attack of the duel. Cue Zone's theme, and you have an incredible end to this one. Aporia desperately was trying to convince himself that he is unable to feel despair anymore, and that's exactly why this final sequence for him works so well. He is so desperate for anything to stop the barrage of memories that had begun flowing back into his heart as he started losing his grip on the duel, to the point where he comes off completely unhinged during the final sequence. This is a stark contrast to how Aporia was at the beginning of this duel. He was calm, composed, calculated, and seemed to have full belief in his new ideologies. As he started to lose his grip on victory, he also started to lose his conviction in these new ideologies. We see some incredible teamwork from Ruka and Ruka to lower Aporia's mech lord down to a reasonable attack, which is set to give Jack the win. Aporia, distraught by the fact that he is about to lose again, gets an amazing Yu-Gi-Oh! Speech from Jack. Jack tells him that he feels not despair, but hope. It's hope that connects Aporia and Zone, just like it's hope that connects Jack and the twins to Yusei, which is why they will never fall into despair. Aporia seems to realize this, and after he's done screaming post-defeat, he says his final words as he falls into the void, confirming Jack's theory that he finally feels hope. This duel is obviously an amazing one from Rua's standpoint as a character, but it also has so many other moments that make it stand out as one of the best in 5Ds. Aporia going from calm to demented, and his character having an amazing growth moment, is one that often gets overlooked. Jack having a fantastic end turn and acting like an older brother to the twins while they were facing death in the face was also a great moment for his character. And even though Ruka had this awesome signer moment, it wasn't like he soloed Aporia, which wouldn't have been realistic at all. He played a vital role, but you feel all three of our heroes played an equally important role in taking down Aporia. Even on Jack's final turn, if it wasn't for Ruka and Ruka stepping in with traps and spells, Jack wouldn't have been able to defeat him. It was a team effort that was shown off in a super cool way, and of course, it has one of the saddest moments and sequences in all of Yu-Gi-Oh!, followed quickly by a moment that gives the viewer nothing but hope. And guys, that wraps up this episode of What Made a Duel So Special. This is one of my favorites in 5Ds. If there are any other duels, I mean, there's really so many, guys, that you'd like to see me tackle, please write it down below in the comments. The comment that gets the most thumbs up 2 weeks after uploading this, that's the duel I'll tackle, as long as I felt that the duel was amazing. But I'm sure, you guys will pick a good one and vote a good one down below. Please let me know if you enjoyed. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this duel down below. Let me know if you enjoyed it as much as I did. I'll talk to you in the comments, and I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.